Oh, woe is me. This is a recording about a new tax that has been unwittingly levied on executives of African origin, male or female. And I'm calling it the PET tax. In the middle of all of our other woes, all of our other economic woes, people of African origin who are executives are going to have to pay a special surcharge just for being who they are. How so? I'm going to start with a quote by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. And he said famously, "We know they're lying. They know they're lying. They know that we know that they're lying. We also know that we know they're lying, but they still lie." And the relevance of that quote is that everybody will deny the application of this tax to executives of African origin. How did it come about? The fact that Kwasi Kwarteng lasted under 40 days as the most senior ever person of African origin in high political office is going to be generalized and be an indicator or proof, if you like, of the abilities of people of African origin in high office. This is because whenever something adverse happens in the life of or as a result of the actions of a person of African origin, that circumstance, behavior, set of actions is generalized as being typical of all people of that ethnic, professional group or class. This is stunningly dissimilar to what happens when a person of European origin fouls up in office, high office, any kind of professional situation. Their circumstances are exceptionalized to that individual, making that person an outlier, an outrider, a rogue element in the sea of other people of European origin who are in every other way exceptional, competent, able, and so on and so forth. It doesn't apply to people of African origin. So this feeds off latent stereotypes which are seeded in, particularly in certainly in British culture, about the, say, intelligence and proclivities of people of African origin. There was an academic called Heidi Sophia Mirza, who in 1992, writing in her book, Young, Female and Black, which talks about the ineducability of people of African origin. Basically, what she's saying is based on a fundamental mistrust on either the character or the native intelligence of PAOs, people of African origin. It's a real sad thing because Kwasi Kwarteng went to Eton, like the former Prime Minister, went to Cambridge, unlike the former Prime Minister who went to Oxford, spent a year at Harvard, and aged under 30, earned a PhD from the University of Cambridge in nothing other than economic history. In fact, it is highly unlikely that any Chancellor of the Exchequer could single-handedly attempt the kind of stunt that Mr. Kwarteng pulled on his own. He would have had to have the support of the Prime Minister and other very, very high-ranking senior Tories for him to roll out the mini budget, which proved fatal to his personal circumstances. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen to the Prime Minister. It's a bit of a roller coaster at the moment for the whole of the nation. However, he was the first to be thrown under the bus, A, because he had his name on it as Chancellor of the Exchequer, and B, because of who he is. I'm quite certain. Now, there was a fantastic cartoon that went out, a meme really, that went out. And it was called Learn Counting with Kwasi Kwarteng. And it had a little English child, presumably, solving the sum 5 minus 4 and making it 9, which is obviously kind of an attack on the intelligence of the person after whom that particular maths lesson, arithmetic lesson, was based. Now, it is really, really sad that on account of this piece of exceptionalism by Mr. Kwarteng, advocating a policy, by the way, which I would say 9.5 out of 10 people of African origin doubted the wisdom of, will be used to judge everybody else of his ethnicity. All the more ironic for the fact that he very publicly stated that, look, he's no advocate for people of his ethnic origin. And he actually finds the idea that having achieved high status, he should become a representative of his people. He finds that idea, in his own words, racist. So there we are. We know that the former Chancellor was an ideological soulmate of the Prime Minister. He co-authored a book with her, talking about their economic beliefs. And essentially, what it seems his mini budget was a piece of trickle-down economics on steroids. Now, personally, I've never believed in that kind of economics, but it's a free country and we all have our opinions. I don't believe that it has ever worked since the days of Ronald Reagan. And I know for certain that I would say that most people of African origin here in the United Kingdom don't believe in it either, because they've been promised much in the past and been delivered very little on the basis of that kind of economic policy. So what is sad is that while the racist tropes are out there making cartoons and memes like the one about 5 minus 4 equals 9, 5 minus 4 equals 9, that's not part of the conversation. Part of the conversation that's being totally focused on is not the racialization of this man, but the other issues that go along with it. And I would say that it doesn't serve our society. It's not a good look for our society for us to be in that position. What's worse is the consequences of the PET will be that it just raised the bar by a considerable amount for any other person of African origin, either aspiring to high office or aspiring to advance themselves in their professions or their careers. Simply, it's just nailed another marker into the old stereotype about the fact that it doesn't matter where a person of African origin has been, he is but what it is. That's what the racist trope is about. And that will be the basis of the tax that has absolutely been levied on people who look like me. Of course, Solzhenitsyn's quote will be applied because everybody, but everybody, will live in denial of this plain, simple truth that I'm sharing. And I wish this wasn't my contribution to Black History Month, which we're still in. Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony of it all, that this should happen during Black History Month. You couldn't have made this up. They'd have thrown out the script. But this is a contribution to the conversation about Black History Month. For pity's sake, drop your stereotypes. Thanks very much.